Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
Sports Podcast. I'm Marcus Benjamin, chilling with my guy Wesley Pierre. We talk that real sports talk from the crib, Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County. And this week, hey, we got two teams in the playoffs. That's right, playoffs. We went in through the back door, man. Somebody let the back door open, and we in for those last two spots. Well, the last spots in both sports, hockey and basketball. So the Heat, though, man, they started it off with a bang, beating the Bucks game one.
Yep.
Everybody doubted us like they always do. Why, Wes?
The beaches, the women, and of course, the weather.
Exactly. So, nobody was picking us. No, as a matter of fact, don't pick us. Just like the UM team, you know what I'm saying? Don't pick us at all. But we do suffer a loss in that game, and that's Tyler Herro, which is unfortunate. Breaks his hand in the game and is basically out for the playoffs unless we make it to the NBA Finals, possibly to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe. But it's a big loss because, we need that second scorer behind Jimmy. I mean, Bam, kind of your do everything type of player. But without Herro, man, we need another hero on this team to come up with some big buckets like Tyler Herro did. So that was the unfortunate thing, but Miami does win game one. But unfortunately, they lose game two to the Bucks, and Giannis wasn't even playing in the game. He also was injured in game one, and the Bucks just kind of took it to us last night. So now the series is tied 1-1 heading back to Miami on Saturday. So Wes, man, your thoughts on what's going down with the Miami Heat in round one?
My thoughts with the Miami Heat is typical Miami Heat. They find ways to lose the game. And that's exactly what they did for the second game. I mean, yeah, game one we lost. People are gonna say it's because Giannis was injured, but we was mopping him before he even got injured. Personally, I think the Miami Heat played better against the Bucks when Giannis is on the floor, because when he's on the bench, you don't need to worry about him being a liability with the shot. Yeah, people are gonna be like, the defense is not as great when he's on the bench, but to have somebody that you have on the floor can be a liability, even though he's probably the greatest player in the game right now. Technically, I still think that's LeBron or probably KD, but in regards to Giannis, he still be a liability when it comes to playing basketball. His shot is not as consistent. If you watch the Milwaukee Bucks throughout the year, you can actually see that. Definitely a great player, man. Triple doubles, double doubles. You can consistently count out that with him. He's going to give you everything that's in his heart on the floor. He's going to leave it on the gridiron. Not the gridiron, but the court, on the basketball court. And when I seen him went down, I was really upset because, one, I know that they're going to talk shit. They're going to say that it's because he was injured. That's why we stole game one. And then also, too, because I know when he's on the bench or he's not playing, they actually play better with him on the bench, at least with us. Prior to game one, I told you we actually match up better against Milwaukee, and we do. But that's when Milwaukee have Giannis in the game. You don't need to worry about the 3-point shot with him. You don't really need to worry about a 15-point jumper. He can do it from time to time, but it's not as consistent. So, you can actually see it off the TV, off the screen when you're playing these individuals like 7 games straight or consistently. Sometimes when you see players once in a blue moon, you're really gravitating towards the highlights, even though you're actually watching the game. So for me to watch the Miami Heat big ass meltdown on game 2, it was kind of disturbing. When Tyler Herro actually went down for game 1, I thought about you, Marcus. I'm like, availability is the best ability, and I know that he's going to get traded now in the offseason. We already were speaking on Damian Lillard, having a song about Tua and the Dolphins and so on and so on. Of course, he's not going to speak directly on the Miami Heat because he played basketball, but if you could read between the lines, and for him to consistently be out of the postseason, last year it was him being injured with the groin. This year it's a broken hand. It's always something that's not going to allow him to give us what we expect from Tyler Herro, and that's buckets, just like Jimmy Buckets. And when you're not available in the off season like that, well, postseason like that, it's going to shine a big ass light on getting your ass up out of here. And even though I think that you're probably one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer on the team, you're not available. And we're tired of seeing you on the bench when we actually need you. So if we last a month and a half, maybe you can come back. But come on, man, we're going against Milwaukee, and that's the game that you want to go down. So I don't know, man. I'll let you chime in a little bit before I speak on game 3.
I mean, I think they got maybe a puncher's chance. I still feel kind of the same way. It's like they gave me a glimmer of hope for a moment in game 1. I'm just like, oh, so this is how we coming out. Oh, okay, so this is how we supposed to be playing, and now all of a sudden, we just kind of click in the first game of the playoffs, but then the injury happened. And I was just like, oh, okay, so this is the script. That's how I was feeling. I was just like, oh, so this is the script. I feel like of all the sports, the NBA is scripted the most. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I feel like the NBA is scripted. I actually don't even like watching the NBA anymore. As far as like all the sports that I watch, I think this whole year with working with Rivals in Kings County has changed my life and perspective about sports. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like college sports are better. You know what I'm saying? I feel like college football, college basketball was great. I mean, obviously, because of the run to the Final Four helped in that regard. But I'm actually watching baseball, and I'm actually interested in college baseball now. I'm not interested in Major League Baseball. I'm not interested in the NBA, and I was barely interested in the NHL. I'm watching it now because the Panthers are in it. And the NHL playoffs is still, I think, better than the NBA because there's a lot more parity. You never know who's going to win, and we're going to touch on the Panthers in a minute. But yeah, man, I get tired of watching the NBA. You see these games. I don't know if you've seen any other games, but of course LeBron comes back and beats Minnesota to win, and of course Draymond Green gets suspended for some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? By the way, you seen that? You seen what Draymond Green stomped on the dude?
Yeah, I don't know if it was accidental, but I would have stomped on his ass too. You grab my ankle in the middle of a fast break. You could make me hyperextend a knee or anything like that, and you're mad when I stomp on your ass. You deserve a stomp, I
don't think he did it on purpose. I think it's actually an accident because when you trying to run, somebody grab your ankle, you're going to trip, and you're not going to have your balance. And the only place for his foot to land was on the dude. You know what I'm saying?
But Marcus, if that was you, I would believe you. But just because Draymond got a history of kicking people in the groin and doing all type of craziness, then I'm not going to give him that pass. But if you saying he did it on purpose, which I do think he did it on purpose, I would have done the same thing. Somebody's on the floor. I wasn't guarding you. You fell on the ground. It's a fast break. My team has the ball, and I'm running towards I'm trying to run towards the other end of the court, and you grab my ankle. Really? What do you think I'm gonna do? And then nothing happens to Sabonis. Now,
yeah,
it is what it is. I would have done the same thing. I understand the NBA got to go ahead and suspend Draymond, but he deserved it. Not Draymond, but the guy deserved it, man. Sabonis, you deserved it. I wish it would have had like a crack. You would have had like a cracked rib or something, because you got Draymond suspended. It's basically like what LeBron did when LeBron set him up, when he was trying to walk over on Draymond Green and sun him like he was from top of square, and Draymond Green got up, in his face. Now, Draymond, when that happened with LeBron, it kind of showed how big LeBron was compared to you. LeBron was in your face too, and you didn't punch him like Poole, but I don't know. Maybe because that's the king, and I don't know.
Shit cut out a little bit, but the last thing I heard was
for his brand and for everything like that. So, truly think that Draymond did it on purpose, and I don't mind him doing it on purpose, because anybody that want to go ahead and
you paused again, but I don't think he did it on purpose.
I
think it was truly an accident. Huh? You said you think you happy it's happened?
Yeah, I'm happy it happened, because
I'm not happy it happened because he got suspended. You know what I'm saying? And just like you ain't giving him a pass, apparently the NBA didn't give him a pass neither, and they suspended his ass. And now it's almost like they want Sacramento to win. You know what I'm saying? They want this small town. It's a good story. This is a team that was going to actually be out of business, or was going to like move to another city like a couple years ago until,
really?
They were about to quit on this franchise because it's in Sacramento. You already got Golden State, which is very close to Sacramento as far as basketball fans are concerned. Like, they were going to give up on this team, and the owner, I think, got some more investors, or they put some more money into it to keep the team. All of a sudden, it seems like it's a feel-good story. And it seems like that's what the NBA wants right now. I just feel like it's scripted. And because of that, because of this, of how I think it's scripted, to bring it back to the Heat, I think the Bucks are going to end up winning this series, because that's who they want. They don't want the Heat to move on to the next round, because that's not going to bring ratings. They want to see Giannis. Giannis is hurt right now, but I'm pretty sure he'll be back. If not for the next game, he'll be back for the next game after that. Definitely will be back for the next series. And they want their superstar to be in it. And for some reason, Jimmy Butler, he's a star, but I don't think he's like a real superstar that the NBA really wants to see like that. And Bam is not a superstar either. He's a star, all-star, but not a superstar. So I think they want to keep the superstars in the next series. You got New York, obviously, is a big market, so it doesn't even matter who's on that team. And then you got Cleveland, you got Donovan Mitchell on that team over there. So it works either way there. But I just think it's scripted. Miami's going to end up losing this series. They probably push it to 6 games, maybe even 7. But I think Miami's going to end up losing this series because Tyler Herro getting hurt.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if Miami's going to lose the series, just behind what you just said. As far as whoever wins this actual series, they'll be playing the New York Knicks. We know that the New York Knicks has a rivalry with the Miami Heat, even though it hasn't been like that in a few years, but we always hate the Knicks. And for our homeboy Gene, I definitely need to make it to the second round so I could talk shit to his ass. But besides that, that's the only thing that would lead me to believe that the Miami Heat would go ahead and make it to the second round. One, because game 1, when Giannis got out of the game, they almost came back. They almost came back and won that game. We was able to hold it down in the end and still seal the victory. But game 2, like shit, It looked like when we were playing the San Antonio Spurs and they couldn't miss for threes. You have people doing fadeaways in the 3-point line, shooting is going down. People falling to the floor and shooting threes and doing anything, and it's going down. Porter, I'm like, that guy Porter right there, he could be on anybody's team and probably start. It's kind of like when we had Alonzo Mourning as our backup to Shaq. It's like, what? Like, yo, you got Giannis, and then you got this guy over here backing you up. He could shoot threes. He could back you down, and be some type of give you, some type of physicality at the baseline. Yo, man.
Yeah.
I love to see all that, but again, I think the Miami Heat still have a chance to win the game. What I really want to happen is Giannis to come back, especially if Giannis could come back and not be all the way 100%. Definitely an advantage to the Miami Heat. Right now, we feel like we have an advantage because we did our job. Our job was not to win both games in Milwaukee. Of course, we want that to happen, but that's just a Christmas present twice, and that's not going to happen. We stole game one. We could have stole game one or stole game two. We stole one of them. Fine, perfectly fine. The series is back to 0-0. Now, can we hold down home court? Can we hold down home court? I think we're going to win one in Miami. We're going to lose one in Miami, and then we're going to go back to Milwaukee, and they're probably going to beat us. It's going to be 3-2. They come back to Miami. It's either going to be a closeout or we're going to go ahead and make it a game 7. That's what I really, truly think is going to happen.
That's basically what I said, games, 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to play out exactly probably how you said it. We probably get game 3 just because we have the home court and the momentum. Got 2 days rest. Usually Jimmy Butler, when he has like a couple of days rest, he comes full force. But to ask him to do that for 2 games in a row with no Herro, it's going to be too tough for him to do. And I think they probably lose game 4, and then they end up losing game 5 as well.
And think about it. We normally see this like it was a blowout, but they was up by like 30. We had a 17-0 run and still was losing by like 14, 15 points. So yeah, you already know the damage that Milwaukee did to us. I'm thinking, damn, I lost my train of thought. Damn, you could go ahead. Let me try to remember what the hell I was gonna say. Crazy.
Yeah, man. I just think it's gonna be a tough series for the Heat. It's gonna be a really tough series, and I'm already thinking about the offseason, to be honest. I'm already thinking about who we get next, trading Tyler Herro, trading Kyle Lowry, trading Gabe Vincent, man. I actually don't want to lose him because sometimes
that's what I was telling you.
Good shots, you know what I'm saying? And Caleb Martin, I don't want to lose him either, but I would trade him if needed. He's definitely a tradable piece. Somebody would want him. And Duncan Robinson, obviously, all the money we paying him, and the only reason why he's even on the court is because Tyler Herro is hurt.
You gotta blame yourself, though, Marcus. You gotta blame yourself, though. I told you all the time.
Duncan Robinson?
Yeah, man, I gotta blame you. Because Marcus, you're the one that want to pay the players. I want the players to get paid too, but you want the player to think about himself and his family first. And that's exactly what happened. They thought about themselves. They got the payday. But us as a franchise, remember, I don't know them personally. My team is the Miami Heat. My team is not Tyler Herro. So, yeah, I want you to get this money. But every time we wind up paying people this money, it wind up not panning out. It hasn't been like that. The success story like we've been wanting for the last few years. Jimmy Butler get paid.
And he's still balling.
And he's still balling now. No, he's still balling now.
He's balling actually.
Regular season, we be complaining like, damn, why you not playing this game? Why you not playing that game? Maybe you're saving it for the postseason. Okay, cool, no problem. But you got people breaking money, paying bread to come see you, and you're not there. That's one thing. Then you get Bam Adebayo, you pay him this money, and yeah, you be doing the double, this, that, and the other. But when I see you against other players that's getting paid that same money, you're not as dominant as I would see you in the regular season. I'm just saying that. These people, I want them to get the money. But again, when you pay them the money, sometimes they take a little foot off the gas. Sometimes you get a little bit injured a little bit more. Why? Because this injury that you could once play through, you're not playing through it because you're looking at the big picture now. Oh, hell nah, boy. I ain't going to play right now. My back is hurting a little bit. Whereas if you didn't have that money, I got to show them that I'm going to leave everything on the court. I'm going to show them that I'm one of these guys that every coach would want. They sacrifice everything. You got another UD on my team. Nah. This is what happens every sport. I'm sorry. I don't know why it happens like that. LeBron is the only one I haven't seen.
The only one, bro? You crazy.
Right now that I'm thinking, like you pay him the bread, there's a lot of expectations from your ass. This nigga doing it for 20 years. For 20 years, practically. You're doing it for 20 years. You rarely got injured. Yeah, recently the last year, maybe 2 years, he been having a little injury bug. Minor things, but you expect that from somebody that barely, if anything, ever get injured. Everyone else, they get injured all the time. They'll be gone, the whole season. So, I don't like LeBron, but I'm going to give him that credit. Like, he be holding it down. The expectations that he had when he first got into the league, boom, he did that, been there, done that. You getting paid this money, boom, you still the same LeBron. Triple doubles, double doubles. You're later in your career, triple double, double doubles. So that's the only guy that I really see still doing his thing like that. Or if you're talking about another sport, Patrick Mahomes, you get paid the money and you still balling, you still that guy that people would want to go watch. But other people, like, come on, man, you get paid the money. Tyler Herro, you get paid the money. You're always injured now. I like you. I want you to be great. I mean, you're on my team, but you're injured now. Bam Adebayo, he got the money. He was injured. Yeah, we got him now, but he's been injured. Jimmy Butler, same thing, not playing back-to-back games, not being in the game consistently. Right now, we're in the postseason, so it really don't matter. But I'm just using these examples to back up what I'm saying. Like, when you pay these people the money, shit go left sometimes.
Yeah, I disagree 100%. I just think, I just think, but players they get injured. Players always get injured, whether they get paid or whether they don't get paid. Players get injured. Tua didn't get paid; he's always injured. So it really, like what you're saying has some validity to it. Tyreek Hill, he got paid. When was he ever injured? He was on the field the entire time. He played injured. You know what I'm saying? Like that. There's so many examples.
Anomaly.
There's so many examples of players playing after they get paid. So yeah,
some players.
And like I want to clear up what you're trying to say too, because with Duncan Robinson, yeah, I do want players to get paid, but I'd rather get Duncan Robinson to get paid by another team, not ours. You can get paid, but not by my team. I was never on the train of Duncan Robinson getting a big contract or Kyle Lowry.
You wasn't.
Or
Kyle Lowry. I already know.
Kyle Lowry, definitely. Like I definitely was against that 100%. He's just old. And he's old. Like he's been old for a while. I don't think it's because he got paid. That's why he's not playing. He's just old. He's past his prime. He needs to basically retire. And Miami just made a wrong move in trying to pay Kyle Lowry. So Damian Lillard got paid too. Always healthy, always ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Always ready to play.
That's a different type of guy though, man. That's a different type. I put him in the same like the Tyreek Hills and the LeBrons. Again, you're gonna have some people. I just used LeBron because that was the first person that came in my mind, making that statement. But you have some players when they get paid, they still do their thing. But you got a lot of players that get paid and they change. Just facts.
I think that's just your opinion, and I will disagree. I think it's just I think you're just trying to concentrate on those situations where they get paid and then all of a sudden that they're injured. So
Whiteside got paid.
Like that. Whiteside was never good, man. He was never a good player.
How you gonna say that?
Pat Riley just missed on that player. I don't know why he chose to pay Whiteside instead of Dwayne Wade in that situation.
Because
Like,
Wade knew LeBron was leaving and didn't want to be loyal to the franchise, so he
you
gave
pay
the
somebody
money to
else,
someone
not
else.
Whiteside. You pay somebody else. Where's Whiteside at now? Gone. I ain't seen him since he left.
But it's not just Whiteside. It's just I think he's gone from the league because the league it just changed from having that type of big man in the game. Yeah, you're gonna have your anomalies like Brook Lopez that's still in the game, but he was able to evolve. You see when he's matched up against anybody fast on the Miami Heat, we're able to, do our thing against him offensively, unless we're in the paint. And I think that's the problem with Whiteside. Whiteside don't have the agility like what's his name, like a Bam Adebayo and so on and so on. I think that's why he's not in the game right now. Not because he can't get rebounds, not because he can't defend the paint, not because I think it's just the game. It changed right in front of our eyes, and for him, he's considered a dinosaur now. The league is not focusing on a big man like that. I think that he could be a better person personality wise, but sometimes people wear their emotions on their sleeves, and I would get mad if I want to be in the game and my coach is not letting me be in the game. But then on the other flip side, the coach don't want you in the game because you're giving up on plays or this, that, and the other. So I see it both ways, but I don't think Whiteside was a trash player. I just think that the game just evolved right in front of his eyes, right in front of our eyes, and he was not able to be the person in the paint like these big guys normally do and stay in the paint and really don't have to leave there. So I think that's the only reason why he's not in the league. Because if you're talking blocking, walking double, come on, Marcus. Maybe not like
Bam Adebayo was a better player than him, and that's why we chose Bam Adebayo over Whiteside. Bam Adebayo is basically the same player, but he's just better. He's just better.
Bam Adebayo is a power forward playing center. Whiteside was a center playing center. So the power forward have more lateral movement. He's able to be a little quicker than Whiteside. That's the only difference. Whiteside had a better shot than Bam, if you want to be technical. Whiteside, you remember Whiteside? You remember that first year? It was Whiteside and Bosh. Bosh was Whiteside was the center. Bosh went back to his regular position, and sometimes they would be flip-flopping with each other. You know what I'm saying? And then Bosh got injured in the playoffs, and then that was the end of Bosh's career in Miami. Not for being injured, but his health injury with the blood clots and stuff like that. But I remember when Whiteside and Bosh was in the game. You seen him free throws. We like, damn, this guy came from the YMCA. Boom, when it came to 15 footers, yeah, this guy came from the YMCA, blocking, rebound. So that was a difference. It was a difference. They were able. You kind of see what the Miami Heat, then what I'm talking about with Whiteside and Bosh when they were the center and power forward, is kind of how Milwaukee is right now with Giannis being the center. You got Brook Lopez and you got Porter. You have 2-3 big guys you got one that can stretch. You got one that's a great defender. You got one that has everything, all of that. That's Porter. Porter is a good defender. He can shoot the ball with the threes and everything like that. So I think it's just the game just passed him by, and he didn't think that it was gonna pass him by. So I just think it just didn't work out for Whiteside in Miami.
I'm glad the Heat passed on him eventually because I just don't think he was that guy, and I'm glad they moved on from him and decided to move on to Bam Adebayo.
Quick question though for you. Would you say that if we would have Whiteside for like a $5 million a year, $10 million a year compared to the big contract? Because I think the reason why people don't like him because he getting paid all that money and he hasn't produced behind that contract. But if we had him got him for the cheap, like something that we've been paying UD, we're paying UD like $5-10 million or whatever it is, and he'd be on the bench. You do your thing in the locker room, trying to keep the Heat culture alive and keep players in check and certain things like that. But if we didn't pay him that money, I think he still would have been a Miami Heat because I think that it's just the amount of money. You know, sometimes a lot of people get scrutinized a lot harsher when you get paid that money, and I think that's exactly what happened. You know, some people, they get the money, you young, you never had nothing, and you don't know how to act, and that was also a problem as well. But I don't think that, you know, for people to say that he was garbage, nah. If you say that, oh, he gave up on plays, maybe I'll say that, but maybe I'm giving up on plays because I don't like my coach no more. My coach doesn't let me go in the game or this, that, and the other. So, you know, he probably was salty with Spo. I don't know, but I ain't gonna say that.
I think he was inefficient with the basketball. I mean, he was good at defending, rebounding, blocking, but like when he got the ball, he wasn't efficient. He shot the ball like when like 2-3 guys were on him. You know, like he wouldn't pass the ball like Bam does, passing to the open man. He just wasn't a good team basketball
Why
player.
though? Are you not asking why?
My
coach is not letting me in the game. He's not letting me in the game. He let me in the game
because you're not a good team basketball player. It's a team game. You're not a good team basketball player, so we're not gonna let you in the game.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You're gonna lose games with you in it.
Marcus, you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is, I'm giving you probably his perspective. My coach is not allowing me to play in the game. I'm getting paid all. Finally, when you let me in the game, you think I'm going to be passing the ball? No, I'm going to try to score. I'm going to try to score. I'm going to try to score. I'm sorry, because I don't know when you're going to let me back in the game. I don't know. So I'm going to do something with the ball. You know, that may sound selfish, and I know it is selfish, but I'm giving you the way he's probably thinking. You never let me play. Hey, I finally play, then I'm going to make sure I do something with the ball. I'm sorry.
I mean, that probably is how he's thinking, and that's why he's not on a team right now. I don't think he's on a team right now because he's a good one-on-one player. He's probably a good 3-on-3 player, but he's not a good NBA player because he's not.
You don't think that having Whiteside right now to guard Giannis, or I'm not even Giannis.
Probably you mean right now, Whiteside in his prime?
No,
Whiteside in his prime or right now?
Well, I can't really. The only thing I remember is the Whiteside when he was on the Heat, because once he left, trust me, I wasn't following his career right now. So I'm just thinking the Whiteside when we had him. Right now, we would love Whiteside. We're outmatched we're outmatched when it comes to height with Milwaukee. You don't think you could have put Whiteside in the paint and get Brook Lopez to not be balling like that in the paint, looking like he's a Hall of Famer, Porter, balling like a Hall of Famer? Nah, Whiteside would be able. Whiteside would be able to guard them. Now you may be a liability against Giannis, but I'm not gonna put you against Giannis. If Giannis in the game and Brook Lopez in the game, Bam Adebayo in the game, and Whiteside is in the game. Whiteside, go ahead and stick Brook Lopez and Bam Adebayo, since you got the better lateral or movement agility than you be on Giannis. But I just think that he's not a bad player. I just think that money made him look like he's a bad player, and giving up on your team is definitely a bad thing as well. And I think he just gave up on the team at that time, or he just gave up on the coach, and it wasn't working out, so he had to go. But I would love Whiteside right now for like a $5 million, $10 million a year.
If he wasn't a bad player, then if he went somewhere else, then he would have did something. But he did.
He was still averaging the double-double. He was still averaging.
I ain't never seen him after the Heat. I don't even know what team he even went to after the Heat.
I don't remember. I think he bounced.
You don't remember either. So exactly.
No, he bounced out west. So I'm not going. I think he went to the Kings too. You feel me? You know, certain people, they send them to certain organizations to die, like the Cleveland Browns and stuff like that. And I think that's or the Oakland Raiders. I think that's exactly what happened to him. But ain't nobody gonna stay up at 10 o'clock to be watching no Sacramento or anybody from the West. Like, we stay on the East Side, Dade County bound.
Besides this year, Sacramento has been trash. So he probably was trash on a trash team, and that's why he disappeared.
DeMarcus Cousins was a great center, and he played for Sacramento Kings, and they still was the strongest team.
Eventually, he had to leave too because he was tired of being trash.
He was tired of being trash. I understand what you're saying, but again, he was still having triple doubles and they still was trash. So
That's what I'm saying. So you knew about DeMarcus Cousins, right? You knew about DeMarcus Cousins, who was on the Kings, but you don't know about Whiteside, who was also on the Kings. So what does that tell you?
I told you he averaged a double-double. I'm just not gonna stay up and watch them damn games. After he left Sacramento or whatnot, like I don't know where else he went.
Why you defending Whiteside so much anyway, man?
Because I don't like the way everybody's trying to make it seem like he was wrong for doing what he did in Miami. He was not wrong for doing what he did in Miami.
Player, what you mean? He wasn't a good team basketball player. It's not like he's a terrible, like if we having a pickup game on the court, I'm picking Whiteside. Bro, I'm gonna pick Whiteside.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Whiteside for a big man. Why would I not pick a big man like him?
That's what I'm saying. But when you're
I'm not gonna pay you that money though.
It's about being efficient. You know what I'm saying? It's about there was this argument on 560. I don't know if you heard about it, but it was an argument about DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler, and who you would take. You know what I'm saying? See, you would take DeMar. Why? Because he's a volume scorer and you can argue he's a better scorer, but he's not efficient though. I want an efficient player. He's not efficient like Jimmy Butler. Like he's not going to waste a bunch of possessions. He's not going to turn the ball over as much as DeMar DeRozan is. That's why to me, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo is more valuable than a DeMar DeRozan or a Hassan Whiteside.
I hear what you're saying about the DeMar DeRozan, but I don't have his numbers in front of me. All I do is know right now that he's a great player as far as shooting the ball, and he averaged like 28 points a game or certain things like that. He be clutch when I be seeing him shooting the ball. So again, I'm not watching him like that to be like, oh nah, because you're absolutely right. Jimmy Butler efficient. When LeBron James was here, he was efficient. D Wade, same thing, efficient. You shoot the ball 16 times, you make it 14 or you make it 13. That. I feel you. I'll take that too. But if you're talking about just that's a smart player. That's a smart player that know what he's doing. But you know what happens when your ass got talent, man? Some people they're like, man, my talent gonna hold me down. I don't need to really focus on the ins and outs of the game like Jimmy Butler is doing. Jimmy Butler know that his game wasn't his. Jimmy Butler today is not the same Jimmy Butler like 7-8 years ago. He was a defender. He that was not his game. Whereas DeMar DeRozan, he came in being an offensive guy. So me outside looking in, I'm gonna be like, if you're talking about the better player, if you're talking about just scoring wise, in my head, I'm gonna go with DeMar DeRozan. But if you want to go ahead and go on what you're saying as far as being efficient, I know for a fact, Jimmy Butler is efficient. So it depends on what you want. It depends on what you want. I tell people all the time. Same thing. People say that about Kobe, and Kobe is one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of all time to do it. But what did I say about Kobe? What did I say about Carmelo? You got to shoot the ball 50, 60 times to get 30 points. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, I feel you. I feel you 100%. But again, right now I don't have DeMar DeRozan's average.
I looked it up. So Jimmy Butler, 22.9 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 5.3 assists. 53.9% from the field.
Okay, so more than half.
DeMar DeRozan, 24.5 points per game. So basically 1 point, you could say, or 1.5 points more than Jimmy Butler. Rebounds, 4.6. So Jimmy got him by 1.5, basically. Okay. And assists, basically the same. And field goal percentage, Jimmy got him by 4%, basically.
So you like 49%?
DeRozan's 50% and Butler's 54% from the field.
Oh, okay, so yeah, the efficiency, yeah, you're absolutely right, but they're typically kind of the same player. But Jimmy Butler, better defender, better leader, better, more efficient.
Too. The better defender will get you more steals. That type of player. I definitely would take Jimmy Butler over DeMar DeRozan any day of the week. I mean, I love Russell Westbrook. Like, he's one of my favorite players to watch. but he's one of the most inefficient players on the court. Like, he's just an inefficient player. That's why lately the teams that he's on, they don't win because he's just inefficient. He makes bad decisions. He turns the ball over. He takes wild shots. He takes, shots when 2-3 guys are on him. That type of thing.
Only player to average a triple-double, though.
He's missed a triple-double. Like I said, I'm a fan of Russell Westbrook, but he's just not an efficient player, and that's why he's been bouncing around teams lately. So yeah, give me an efficient player. I don't know how we got on this, but like, give me an efficient player over inefficiency and a volume score, because that's what wins in the NBA.
All right, before we close out the Heat topic real quick, let's go ahead and talk about Game 3. Game 3, I think we spoke on it. I think that we're going to win Game 3. The reason why I feel like we're going to win Game 3 is because that way that it was a 30-point lead. Normally these games, when they're shooting out of the park, is normally Game 3 or Game 4. You see that from a team. You don't normally see that Game 1 or Game 2. Normally Game 1, Game 2 is closed, and then you'll gradually start seeing the offense open up. Yesterday, playing them, Game 2, and they doing what they did. I'm like, okay, that's gonna open up the Heat eyes real quick. And I expect us to win a close game for the next game. A close game. Or it can be the onslaught on offense with us doing the same thing that Milwaukee just did to us. So I think like you say, the game is scripted. It happens a certain way. We had we happen to be lucky to have a team that consistently make the playoffs, won a few championships. So I kind of know how it looks, first, second, third round before we actually get to the finals. And yeah, I know we look like we're outmatched, but I think we match up well. And I think that the Miami Heat would definitely bounce back for Game 3 and possibly lose Game 4.
Yeah, man. What you said. Basically, I mean, Game 3, I'm gonna be watching. We'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game because Miami was shooting the lights out Game 1. Same thing with the Bucks Game 2. It's gotta revert back to the mean. And there's no way both teams are gonna continue to score like that. And I think Miami, put the clamps on them defensively, and they won a very, very close game. Probably a last-second shot by Jimmy, you know what I'm saying, or last-second free throws by Jimmy. I feel like that's what it's going to come down to.
Okay.
But on that same Saturday night, we got a big boxing fight. I know you're not into boxing like that, but you know who Javante Davis is.
Who don't know Tank?
Okay. You know who Tank Davis is, and he will be fighting Ryan Garcia this Saturday. I mean, I'm excited about